Overall, it's been a great year for startups. We've seen around 1,100 new tech startups join the ranks this year, taking it up to around 9,000 plus. So next year we're going to cross 10,000, which is going to be pretty big, which was the goal with which NASSCOM had set up its startup initiative. We have seen a growth in deep tech startups. So today, nearly 18% of our startups are deep tech startups. While it's a good growth, but it's still a small number. So we need to do a lot more in that space. We've seen increase in funding. We've seen increase in startups working with SMEs or for SMEs. We've seen increase in startups working for Tier 2 and Tier 3 India. So all of that is great. We've also seen increase in job creation. So last year we had said that tech startups created around 40,000 jobs. This year that number's up to 60,000, and you can use a 3 to 4x multiplier for indirect jobs that gets created. So it's pretty healthy. It's pretty healthy in these times. And yes, while Bangalore still continues to remain the startup capital for tech startups, we have seen around 12 to 15% of the tech startups coming from Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, which is again excellent because it shows you that the ecosystem is maturing. And the other thing that we're very proud of, we're very happy with, is the rise of B2B startups.
That's an interesting area.
That itself tells you that the Indian startup ecosystem is maturing. So I think we're on a pretty good wicket here.
Got it. Well, thanks for clarifying before I asked you that Bangalore continues to be the leader as far as the deep.
Yes, it does, Rahul. You can go home happy.
All right. Debjani, also, as far as unicorns are concerned, we've added a lot more unicorns this year than we ever have.
Yeah.
So that optimism continues. But, larger now concerns around, are we in a bubble, a valuation bubble? Will the cycle now see a downturn, especially after so much of optimism really has come? And you did allude that we're seeing a lot of sustainable business models now being built.
Yeah, I think sustainability is strong on the startup agenda, and we are seeing focus towards sustainability. As I said, this year we have around 24 unicorns, right? So last year was 17, so 7 got added, and we still haven't completed the year. This is a report till September. So we expect by the end of year, maybe 1 or 2 more unicorns will get added to the list. What's even more interesting is when you look at the 10-year growth from 2014 to 2025, we expect by 2025 India to hit around 100 plus unicorns, which is a 10x growth trajectory. That's exponential growth, right? So it's fantastic to see that. I think there might be some global corrections that happen. We are not too worried about it because we are seeing solid businesses come out of India. I think what more and more we'll have to look at is startup assessment or evaluation system, which is valuation plus plus. We have to look at how robust the business model is. We have to look at patents. We have to look at organization. So I think we just have to start looking at a few more different things apart from valuation in order to make it more healthy.
Got it. Lastly, as far as challenges are concerned, you spoke about the fact how there's a need for a lot more domestic capital to come in. Most of the capital we see is from outside. The government can really play a crucial role. Any other challenges that you want to call out?
Actually, we did see a rise in domestic capital, especially coming from the Indian founders. So we have seen a huge rise in the number of founders who are now funding startups, right? And that was the magic sauce behind China's startup ecosystem. The founders started funding startups and you had that process growing. We're beginning to see that in India, and that's a huge positive sign. Where we've seen a little bit of a slowdown is the angel investment, and I think that's natural given everything that happened last year. I think the angels are on a wait and watch. They're waiting to see what happens. The angel tax has been good news so far, but I think consistency is going to be critical. Is the government going to walk the talk? I would urge the government to take a few steps to increase that confidence because we do need the angel funding back. So we are seeing rise in domestic fund. I think it's going to be critical to ensure government gets into the picture more at seed stage, especially for deep tech startups, because we need patient capital. So that's going to be critical.
Right. I can't let you go without a few questions on the IT sector. We do not get to talk to you much often. As far as the larger industry is concerned, digital really seems to be the big driver. We're seeing companies, top 3-4 of them indicate that digital, as far as business is concerned, will be massive in the coming years.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the transformation that's happening world over, and our companies, our services companies, are transforming faster than the rest, right? We're seeing that, and I think. The transformation of IT services to more end-to-end platform companies providing overall solutions, something it's already happening right now.
Got it. Any macro challenges that you would really want to call out? We've seen Brexit play out in the manner that it has, the US China trade war, all of the sort of find mention as far as commentary from players are concerned, that it's difficult to predict, but there is an uncertain environment globally.
Absolutely, and we had said this in the beginning last year in February that we are cautiously optimistic about this year. There's a lot of geopolitical issues at work, and that definitely increases uncertainty. But then, if you have talent, the world will come to you. The world will need your people, the world will need your business. So I think India has to get single-mindedly focused on building digital talent as a competitive advantage. This is the biggest gap today. There's tremendous shortage of digital talent all over the world. And as long as India has a talent surplus, we had a talent surplus when it came to STEM, we now need to ensure we have a talent surplus when it comes to digital skills. If we have that, I don't think any of this is going to affect India, because people will need the talent and they will come to India when they need the talent.